Hey, what is up, you guys? It's OG by Design, and I'm bringing you part 2 of the tutorial on how to make a YouTube background. And if you missed it, part 1 can be found right here. Let me just mute this. Part 1 can be found right here. See this? Cinema 4D background tutorial part 1.
Alright, hey,
And,
what is up, you guys?
excuse me. I know I'm being sort of really active right now. Like, I'm having 1 or 2 posts a day. And in case you missed this video, alright, so anyway, let's get started. Let's open this up in Photoshop. To do this, you will need a YouTube background template layout thing. If you don't have one of those, one can be found in my GFX pack right here. I have the one that I'm going to be using today, and then an additional partner one, along with all the color corrections and all the stuff like that we're going to be using today. So let's just start off by opening up this YouTube template. And alright, so the best way to select your text in here is this tool right here. It's called the Quick Selection tool. So what you're going to do is you're just going to drag over it. Drag over your text. And that's not going to be perfect right away. As you can see, it did select all the text, or most of the text, but we also have some stuff that we don't want. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold down this Alt key right here, and then we're going to drag and then deselect the stuff that we don't want. So we're just going to hit down here too, and just get right in there. Oops. Alright, that's looking pretty good right there. Maybe a little bit more. Alright. So, as you can see, when we drag it, we're just getting the text. So, as you can see, I missed a little right there, so I'm just going to hit that really quick. So, when you start off with your text, you can either do this in the screen where we were just at, or in here where I am now. I tend to do it in this screen, but a lot of people do otherwise. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the arrow keys, or first of all, you're going to hit Control and T to resize this image, drag it, position it, rotate it however you want, and then just hit enter when you're done. Then you're going to use the arrow keys to finally adjust the position. Then you're going to come down over here. As you can see, I'm in my layer styles menu. You're just going to double click on the layer. Then what you're going to want to do is, what I personally like to do is I like to get a drop shadow, lower the opacity to around 60, 5 distance, 0 spread, 5 size, and then hit gradient, go on down to overlay, and then you're going to want to put that to 180 degrees. Actually no, a little different because it's at an angle. So just sort of adjust it so that the top of the text is lighter than the bottom of the text. And then lower the opacity, or raise it until it looks good. So that's looking pretty good to me. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through here and go to my backgrounds folder, and this, basically everything in here can be found in that graphics pack that I just showed you. So if you want anything in here, just look for it. This right here, it's called Blue, is definitely my favorite optical flare, and I like resizing it right in here because it does, it is a pretty big flare. So then we're going to hit Control T again, and we're going to flatten it out. Then we're going to go down here to this layer style menu again, and click on this drop down, and then select Screen. See, Screen is great because what it does is that it sort of takes out that black background. So what you're going to do is you're just going to hit the edges of that to sort of take out that box shape, and then you're just going to drag it down below the text so you sort of get the color from it, but not really the line itself. Now, then we're going to hit Control and J, or if you don't want to do that, you can just right click and hit Duplicate Layer, and then just hit OK. And then we're going to re-angle this, reposition this, so that it's right on top of the text how we want it, and then just touch it up with the eraser tool, just like this. Alright, that's looking pretty good to me right there. Maybe a little bit more down here just so we get a clearer look at the text. Yeah, that's looking good. Alright, so then we're just going to delete this. Now we're just going to open up this menu. This is going to be really basic stuff, nothing fancy at all. It really isn't. So let's just head over here to the space stuff. A really popular thing to use are these stars. So I'm just going to hit this rectangular marquee tool so I can get a good selection without any of these two things, so I don't have to try and erase them out later, and I still get all of the stars. So what we'll find here that's a little bit different from what we just experienced is that this, alright, so first we have to, sorry about this, but first we have to drag the layer all the way to the back because we don't want it in front of the text. Then I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so we get more stars per square inch. That looks pretty good. But, so a lot of you guys will be thinking, alright, so just come over here and hit that screen button, that should fix it, right? No. So what you can do is that sometimes it'll work, just cycle through this menu using your arrow keys while it's highlighted to see if it'll work out. Most of the time though, it won't. So what we're going to need to do, maybe luminosity works sometimes, so there's two real ways that you can do this. First, put this back to normal, then just click over here. You're going to go to Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast, and pull that contrast all the way up. As you can see, that'll already taken a lot of it. Then we're just going to come over to this eraser tool and sort of hit the edges of this. And make sure your eraser is on 0 hardness or else this won't work as well. Then you're just going to come back over there, come back to Brightness Contrast, maybe hit the brightness a little bit higher, and then raise the contrast the rest of the way. And then see right there, you have your stars. They're not really noticeable, but they do provide a nice effect to the background when you're done. Just hit Control-J a couple times, copy-paste those, and then it's looking pretty good. Next on, you can do some pretty cool stuff with the nebulas and stuff like that. Maybe I'll show you that at the end. But I find it's a bit flashy, so we're just going to try and keep it simple. Next, this is definitely my favorite light stroke right here, this green thing. And you can really do a lot with it. So we're just going to use that marquee tool to pull it out again. And then I'm going to show you, first just stick this on screen, just like I showed you before. So another really good tool is the hue saturation tool. So what you're always going to want to do when you start off using this tool is just hit colorize. That means where you drag the arrow to the color is actually how it's going to look. So we're just going to go to the color that we want, and I think it's going to be an off-whitish color, just like that. Maybe a little bit darker. And that's looking good. Alright, so we're going to hit Control-T again, and this sort of just provides a nice little background for it. Yeah, we'll just go like this, Control-T again, and then spin that sideways. Sort of just give it a borderish feel to it, maybe. Alright, that's pretty good. Then one right here. And I'm actually going to rotate this like this. And then sort of just move it on back in here. Yeah, that's looking good. Then we're just going to hit Control-J one more time. I'm going to rotate it so this flatter side is on top. Then I'm going to move this in front of our text. And that way it gives it a nice little 3D effect, sort of, so it's floating on it, or almost something like that. And I think it's a really cool effect. I do it on a lot of my stuff. So, yeah, that's looking good. Next, we're going to open up our... I'm blanking. Alright, I'm going to go back to my textures, and then there are two things we're going to open now. This glass, see I have a few of them, and I'll show you also grunge and bubbles. Just some more basic stuff. Alright, so here's how you use textures to put on texts. So what you're going to do is, actually I'm just going to save this really quick just in case. Toot. Oreo. Alright, so we're just going to drag this down so it's right on top of our layer 1. Then we're going to sort of resize it so it's a little bit closer to the right size. There we go. Don't worry about it being perfect. You're just going to hit Alt. See right now there's nothing special in between. When you hold Alt, you get like this little black and white thing. Just click right there. And then as you can see, it'll put that shape to the shape of your text. Then just click on the overlay button, raise and lower the opacity as you see fit, and it gives it a nice effect. Next, we're going to use this glass. Once again, use the rectangular marquee tool, select it, and then we we can get rid of that. So let's just go ahead and resize this a little. Go down here, and I'm gonna put this behind our text. Alright, that's looking decent. Maybe pull this out so it's right there. Oh, that's very nice. Alright, yeah, I like that. Then maybe what we might want to do is just take one more, put it over our layer, and just really turn down the opacity a lot. And just sort of go like that from down below, which is pretty cool looking if I do say so myself. And then last but not least, we got the bubbles. My image is a little bit different than most, so there's that. We're just going to drag this down behind the text. And then we'll just try and do the same. I forgot I have to stress that. Alright, I'm sorry, my back just hurts a little. Brightness contrast, turn off the contrast. Okay, let's do that one more time. And that pretty much took care of it in and of itself. Just hit the edges with the eraser. And it gives us sort of a nice alternative to that other look. Alright, and then last but not least, we have the color correction. This is a really important part, and I'm going to be showing you 3 semi-different types of color corrections. Alright, sorry, my phone just buzzed. So we're just gonna duplicate all of these, and here's how you move a color correction, just in case you don't know. Duplicate layers, select layer you want, then move it to that document that you want. So this is gonna work perfectly. Alright, so now we have all 3 of those over here. Alright. So you're gonna want to drag the color correction on top of everything except for that, like the new stuff, except for the default stuff. So here are the 4 different types. Well, wait, we're missing 5 different types. Here it is. Alright, so this is gonna look sort of weird as soon as I move this up here. Alright, so this is type number 1. It sort of darkens up the image, brightens the bright, and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you if you want to change it a little bit later. Here's a different version of that one. It gives you a more gray background and then does basically the same thing. It does look better once you actually put it up than it does right here, to be honest. Then you have the 3 color groups. I mean, there's more than that, but here are the basic ones. There's the blue. It sort of brings out the blues and makes them look really nice, and that looks pretty good. Then you have dark glow, which basically takes all this wispy shadow, and I really like on this one, and sort of just takes that out. And then we have gold feel, which sort of just makes everything gold. So I think that just to show you, I'm probably gonna end up using this one, but just to show you how you can edit this one. What you're gonna do is you're gonna open up this drop-down menu and find the curves. So I've already adjusted the saturation, so it should be alright. So it should be alright. And then what we're gonna do is just sort of play with these until you get it how you like it. So I don't really like that, but that's sort of pretty good right there. I mean, it might be a bit like in your face, but it's okay. It's not my style. So I'm just gonna get rid of that, and then I'm just gonna put on this and then duplicate everything. And that's pretty much a basic tutorial on how to make a background in Adobe Photoshop. So I'll show you guys the finished image in a second. And once you're done, one thing I have to say is make sure you go to your copy and then flip the gradient 180 degrees. So that way the light is up top and not down below. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed, if you learned something, please leave a like and let me know that you guys did enjoy it. Thank you very much, and peace.